probably still have your pen and your piece of paper so you can write down everything that I'm trying to tell you. Give me 1 second, let me turn this music off so you can actually hear me. So, I seriously need help with my house. Any volunteers who don't care to be paid yet want to come help just to be hanging out with me, you're more than welcome to do so. I love meeting new people. You're not going to bother me in the least, but I do need help painting, and I need someone with a skill saw that can cut some things for me, and I need someone to come trim trees for me. They're not very big trees, but I would kind of like a professional to help because I don't want to have to deal with the fact that shit gets destroyed in the meantime. I would greatly appreciate some help on my house. There's not that much work left to do, honestly. The appraisal for my house has increased by $30,000 since I've owned it for the past 6 months. So I would greatly appreciate the help. At any rate, I'm sure you guys would like to know what's been going on with me for the past little while. Numerous things have taken place. Numerous current events have taken place. I actually have a new roommate, or a renter, not a roommate. Well, I guess it's both. He is crazy amazing. He has given to me like thousands of dollars worth of free shit. A dining room table, an armoire, a lawnmower, a washing machine. Didn't have to pay for any of it. He's just amazing. So far. They always seem amazing at first. Being any guy willing to give free shit to me is amazing in my book. I have been having a lot of fun lately. I have weeded my garden, my knot garden, which took a lot of work to begin with. Painted most of my house. Just working outside of being with that fucking company that I was telling you guys about earlier. And I do have a point to make about these people. Those people. Apparently, as part of corporate America, they think that they can break the law and get by with that. No. Like I said earlier, when someone wants to challenge me to a duel, I will always win. If I'm not in the position to win, like playing a game of chess with anyone, which is what living life these days is like, then I'm not going to give up. I will continue to fight. And when I tell you what these, or this company that I was forced into working for has done, it will probably blow your mind as much as it has done mine. Let me elaborate on that further momentarily. So anyway, this company that I was working for, I've been back and forth with about getting unemployment insurance, unemployment benefits, because they terminated me because I was a victim of a break-in. And suddenly now, I was back and forth on the phone with these people, left and right. I asked to be put in another position within the company that I worked for so that I could actually come to work. And I went above and beyond my own call of duty as an employee of another company, which I own a landscaping business, for Christ's sake. I don't need to work for somebody else. But I did. I was a very dedicated employee. The end of story. I did my job to the best of my ability, and even more so, I went above and beyond to make sure that things were done as they should have been done. At any rate, this motherfucking company has written or spoken to the unemployment office and told them that I quit my job. I would like to ask every one of you out there who knows me in any small way, even those of you who don't know me, but you've watched my videos enough to know that I don't quit jobs. It is pathetic to quit working just for no reason whatsoever. It doesn't matter if you own a business or whatever the case may be. You don't just quit a job. I would never do that. These motherfuckers, on the other hand, have said that I quit my job so that I would not be able to receive unemployment benefits of which I am entitled to receive. They apparently don't realize that they have perjured themselves and that that is against the law to do. I don't give a shit how much money you have. You do not do things like that to people. I do not give a shit what company you work for. You do not do things like that to people. It is pathetic fucking companies like that in America that ruins the American name. People don't want to... Who the fuck wants to work for these people? No one. And I am saddened by the fact that Latinos, which a lot of people refer to as Mexicans, work for these kinds of corporations, and the corporations take advantage of them like they do. It is fucking illegal. It is against the law. It is unjust. It is not right to treat someone that way. These people need to open the fucking Bible and read it. It plainly tells you throughout the entire books, whether you believe in it or not, you can still read it and learn something. It tells you about how life works, how karma works. And these motherfuckers, I'm telling you what, one of these bitches from there wants to comment. I will leave my Facebook page at the end of this episode, and I want you to see the comments that I have gotten from the people that work there, or a in particular individual who works there. Like, she wants to pretend like she was my best fucking friend the whole time. She's one of these fair weather people that I was talking about earlier. She fucking sucks as a goddamn human being. It's that simple. She thinks that she is invincible, invulnerable within this company, and that she's just, her shit doesn't fucking stink, and I hate to tell her that it does. I'm telling you what, these people, there is a special place in hell for people like that. You want to pretend like you can just, you're invincible? Well, I personally, every day that I wake up, I know that there is a larger entity, spiritual being that I have to answer to on a daily basis. And I live my life by that. And I'm telling you what, looking at this world and seeing how people act and react these days makes me sick to my fucking stomach. You are not what the world revolves around. You are not what this universe revolves around. God is. I don't care if you believe in God or you do not believe in God. That's your fucking problem. But I'm telling you, I have lived it. I have seen where karma goes, what it does to people. And I'm not even one of these people that if someone does wrong to me, I want to see them offended by karma. Because karma fucking sucks. And it comes back with more inertia and capacity than what you sent out. Ultimately, what I'm trying to tell you is that if you were to stretch a rubber band to its breaking point and then let it loose, it's going to shoot pretty far. Imagine stretching a rubber band to its breaking point and it being able to move 10 times past its point physically. That is how karma works. I am not going to be a victim of karma. I have been a victim of karma. I know what it does. It is not pleasant. I have, in my past, done a lot of fucked up things. But I'm here to tell you, I suffered the consequences. And I've learned from those consequences. And I would hate for anyone else to have to go through that. This company, I'm telling you what, has straight up lied. Like, they can get by with that. Lied. Legally, they have committed a felony crime. I hope it was worth it. So apparently I have become quite the popular one, not only on YouTube, but on Facebook, on Meet Me, on all these sites that I'm on. These people continue to add me. They want to see new video information. I have had numerous amounts of comments. But on a lighter note, I'm going to tell you, I was walking up the street today, not dressed in this outfit because I know better than to do that. But I was walking up the street today, and I want to tell you what living in this town is like. Every single time I walk up the street, I am propositioned or offered money to be someone's prostitute. And I'm going to tell you how these people around here do this. I will be jogging or walking, whatever, to maintain health. And single men, I don't know whether they're married or whether they're not married, but single men in a vehicle. And when I say single, I mean single like they're the only ones in the vehicle. I do not mean that they may or may not be married or dating. They will pull up in their vehicle and sit there until I walk by, and they will honk their horn to get my attention. Then when I blow them off, they simply drive off. I have never actually walked up to a vehicle that was doing this, because to me, first of all, it's offensive for anyone to think that I'm a prostitute. Second of all, I have never walked up to one of these vehicles because I don't know what in hell may happen. But that is, in this town, that is how they do things. They apparently cannot get out of the vehicle and say, hey bitch, I want to fuck you, or will you be my girl? They want to pull up to, and everybody does this, that's wanting a piece of ass around here. And apparently wants it to be mysterious. They want mystery surrounding it. I'm not game for that shit. I want a decent man to approach me and try to acquire my affection. I do not want some dude randomly pulling up on me. I have had sometimes the guys will stop and roll their window down and whistle or ask for your number, but that's very rare. More than likely, what you're going to come into in this town is some guy just stopping you on the street, or trying to stop you on the street by blowing his horn while he sits in his vehicle with the windows rolled up, and expects you to approach his vehicle, and then when you turn around and look at them, they disappear like rats off of a fucking sinking ship. I don't want to deal with that kind of ignorance. It's pure ignorance. I know you guys have heard me talk about my ex, like, numerous videos, numerous times. And I want to tell you that I woke up the other morning and I thought to myself the following. Let me have a sip of this tea before I tell you what I thought. But the best analogy that I came to, as far as this piece of shit is concerned, is as follows. I thought to myself that from the moment I met him, it was like I was standing in front of a tornado that was coming straight for me. And with eyes wide open, I took every single fiber of my being and every piece of courage that I could have ever possibly mustered up and directly jumped right into the fucking eye of this tornado that was coming right at me. That is exactly how this motherfucker and my relationship with him was. It was like I saw this chaos coming. I saw how he would suck up everything around him and just toss it aside like it was nothing. And I jumped right into the center of that. Right into the eye of it. And just stood there the entire time and hoped for the best. Which there was never any best. Because with that analogy, if you could see that jumping into the eye of a tornado, a massive F5 tornado, which is the biggest tornado, the most destructive, that is not a pretty sight. It did not become a pretty sight. You cannot hope for the best, even though that's what I was trying to do. There is no best. There is nothing good coming out of that, and nothing good ever came from that. So, being back in the job market is, or the career market, I'm currently attending school to be, and taking like 100 hours a week in college to not only be a paralegal or attorney, but also to be a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I'm telling you, being back in the job world is a horror story all in itself. It is. These people have some fucking nerve. It's that simple. I do not understand. Whatever happened to the days when you completed a paper application and turned it in to an employer and got a job? That shit does not even exist anymore. You have to apply online, take 1,500 question tests. They do even, with the last job that I acquired, these people were like, from day one, they were like, we have to hire you because you aced this test. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? It's not that complex. How stupid do you have to be to answer these kinds of questions? And if you can't answer these questions, then you don't deserve a job to begin with. Or a career, or anything else for that matter. But anyway, my point is, I went to an interview, and this individual was trying to tell me, asking all these questions, and trying to tell me blah 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 blah. It eventually came down to him trying to tell me how I was going to dress, and I said, I'm going to tell you what, right now, I would like to have this job because it's independent, it's non-restrictive, but I'm going to tell you, you're not going to tell me how to dress. I will not wear a uniform. I will not do any of that corporate America world bullshit again. And as long as I have one ass instead of two asses, like these fat bitches that y'all hire, I will wear what I like, as long as that's okay with you. And he was like, sure, that's okay with me. I think everybody else in the office is going to be kind of upset about the fact that you look sexier than they do. And I said, I don't care about these other bitches. I do not care. They do not faze me or the work that I do. What their opinion is does not matter. And it's extremely simple. For those of you guys out there who are interested, I am in the market for a man. And I mean a man who has a vehicle. A man who has some form of transportation. A job or career. I don't want your money. I can make my own money. I'm living proof that I can make my own money. I don't need your money. I don't want your money. I want someone who is dependable. I want someone who is great in bed. I want someone who doesn't lay around the house all day and do drugs. I've lived that. I do not want to deal with that again. I want someone who brings home a paycheck and is helpful and tolerable. Who helps around the house, who helps work, who helps make money. Money. That's, yes, it's needed in this day and age. It's needed. I don't want your money, but I want you to have a fucking goal in life. It's that simple. We can participate 50-50 or 60-40 or 75-25, whatever you decide that, well, ultimately it's whatever I decide. At any rate, I'm in the market for a man. And I do not want a pathetic little boy again. I have gone round and round with little boys and I'm tired of living that lifestyle. I would prefer to have a decent looking man. And that does not mean a man who wants to send pictures of his phallus or cock to me through my internet connection. Or a man who sends headless photographs. Or don't bullshit me. If you want to be with me, you will send photographic evidence of the fact that you're worthy to be with me. I do not want to see pictures of your fucking cock, because that does not tell the whole story. Your face does. And I want at least 3 pictures of your face, simply because one picture of it, no. These guys, I have had men that will send these gorgeous pictures of themselves from like 1989 and then show up at my doorstep and look like fucking Freddy Krueger. No. Craterface, no. I will help Craterface through his issues with the beauty techniques that I know. I will be your friend all day long, but do not fucking send pictures to me like that and expect to come over here. I want to see a fucking photograph of you from day one, like right then. I don't want the past. I do not live in the past. I do not care for you to live in the past. I want a man who is dependable and will come over here and help me work on this house so we can share something together. I am offering whoever this individual is a decent home, a decent place to live, as long as he's willing to participate in a relationship the same way. There is no negotiating. There is no conversation. I want what I want. For all of you out there who are asking these questions, like, can we fuck, and do you like to have your pussy eaten and shit like that? Come on. Seriously? Grow the fuck up. I want a decent man. If you're a little boy, pack your motherfucking bags, because you're already gone. I do not want to have to deal with that crap. No woman in her right mind would deal with your bullshit. And I'm certainly beyond I'm not going to deal with it. So don't even waste your fucking time. So, some insight into me. I'm going to tell you what. And this is urgent information. This new roommate that I have, not the newest one, or the most new one, that the one that I've had for like 3 months, pisses me off to no fucking end whatsoever. He is a fucking severe alcoholic to begin with. Not only does he ask to borrow money from me, his landlord, mind you, which pisses me off. And not to mention the fact that I'm a female, so that pisses me off even more. You don't ask a woman to borrow money because we're not going to give it to you. This motherfucker, I have 5 degrees, close to being 6 and 7 degrees, and I speak 5 different languages. Did you hear me? I want to let that sit in for a minute. Everybody asks me why I work for corporate America when I have all this intelligence. At any rate, this person, aside from pissing me off by asking me to borrow money or to borrow money from me, pisses me off because one of my degrees is a culinary degree. And for all you chefs out there, you know that you time your food product and its finality, like the completion of it. How long does it take to cook rice? How long does it take to make soup? How long does it take to make a steak medium rare to well done? We time all that shit in our brain. When we're making dinner of any kind for anyone, we do not want some individual who does not know what the fuck is going on or what we have set in our mind as the final product to fuck with that at all. You cannot fuck with that time. The point is, or a point that I'm trying to make is, I am making fried rice tonight with brown rice, which takes a fucking eternity to cook. I have walked into the kitchen 3 times now, and the heat has been turned down on the rice. A lid has been put on top of the rice to steam it, which is exactly what happens. I don't want the shit steamed. I want the water to cook out of it. So, the other day I was cooking a meal for company and baking French fries. I refuse to eat fries that are cooked in grease. You cannot maintain your health by eating fatty foods like that. At any rate, I was making French fries, and this motherfucker comes in there, and the hamburgers and French fries and all that shit. The hamburgers got done, but miraculously, after being in the oven for an hour and a half, the fries weren't done. And I looked at the oven, and I thought to myself, why the fuck is the goddamn oven turned down to warm? Because this motherfucker thought he was cooking the meal. I'm telling you what, this shit pisses me off. The only thing he does around here is wash fucking dishes. That is it. That is it. And worry about his own problems within the household. I sweep, I mop, I wash the windows, I water every plant in the lawn, I mow the grass, the entire lawn, I weed the entire lawn, anything that dust, whatever, polish the wood, that's all me. All he does is wash fucking dishes. And he barely even does that properly. This fool has set clean dishes. He is the fucking notorious for setting dishes outside in the fucking dirt in a germ-inhabited environment and blasting them off with a fucking water hose and thinking that they're clean. I have told him fucking repeatedly not to do that with my dishes. Never do that with my dishes. I would rather wash the dishes myself than to have them thrown into the fucking middle of the yard and blasted off with the goddamn water hose like we're on a fucking camping trip somewhere in the middle of the mountains. We're not on a camping trip in the middle of the mountains. I want my shit clean. I want my dishes clean. I do not want to have to fucking deal with your bullshit. I'm telling you what, to be, for anybody, man, just when a woman is cooking, leave the shit alone. You do not know what the fuck is going on, so just leave it alone. And for you motherfuckers out there who do not know how to wash a dish properly, you need your ass beaten. Don't wash dishes if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Do not try to, when a woman is making a meal, come in and interlope into the situation and act like you know what the fuck is going on. Leave it alone. I would greatly appreciate a man who would come in here and help deal with this motherfucker. And by deal with him, I mean tell him not to throw the dishes on the ground, because apparently, with him being the bigot that he is, he has absolutely no respect for women. I can be weeding the garden and he will tell me what a nice ass I have. I don't want to fucking hear that. You're 60 some odd years old, dude. I don't want to fucking hear it. I would prefer to hear that from someone my age. Or even younger. Maybe a little older. But you could be my grandfather and I am not fucking trying to deal with that crap. At all. No. You do not do that to your landlord. I have set things straight. I do not know how many times, and this motherfucker will not listen to me. Last time I tried to set things straight with this fool, he got in this drunken state and walks all fucking over town, calling everybody nigger this and faggot that, and just pissing off the whole fucking town. He was in the middle of the street, stopping cars. And I literally mean that, exactly. It's not a joke. It's not dramatic. He was in the middle of the street, stopping cars, telling people that he wanted to lick their ass. And if they were black or Latin or not white, he was literally telling them that they were a nigger. And the black people that live around here were not thrilled by that, by any means. They were telling every car that came through here to run over this motherfucker. He was out in the street screaming, his name is blah 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 blah. And these people were pissed. And I told them very specifically, I was like, y'all can handle that, because I'm fucking done with it. I can't deal with that. I'm not going to deal with it. No. He pissed everybody off around here. It came to the point that very day that he ended up in the hospital because some of the black guys down the street that you don't want to be fucking with heard him calling them nigger. And they didn't respond very well to that. And personally, I wouldn't have either. They whipped his motherfucking ass. And he ended up in the hospital with a black eye, a concussion, etc. Blase blah. When the ambulance arrived, he was laying in the fucking middle of the street like a little bitch. And that's what he fucking deserved. Next day, I went down and told the black guys, you know what? I don't blame you for whipping his ass. He fucking deserved it. And he did deserve it. Because you don't do things like that. I do not believe in that. I do not believe in judging someone. I do not believe in bigots. It's horrible. This is a horrible way to live your life. To hate everyone around you. I do not do that. I'm exactly the opposite of that. I appreciate everyone around me. I see that every human being has potential. Until they ruin that I will give you 2 chances with me, sometimes 3, depending upon how close I am to you. But 3 max. If you want to fucking act like an idiot, that's your problem. I am not going to defend you. I'm not going to participate with that. If, however, you're acting like a genuine, decent human being, I will defend you to my last breath. Friends are very difficult to come by. Very difficult to come by.